Mikhail Tal begins the game with knight to f3, which Petrosian replies with pawn to d6. This is a perk difference with the classical Koichiguri line and both players' castle. At this point, Petrosian plays knight to c6, and when Mikhail pushes the pawn to d5, Petrosians bring back his knight to b8. What's the point of this move if you have to bring your knight back to the starting position? The main purpose of this move is that when Mikhail pushes his pawn and Petrosian brings his knight back, it will open the diagonal scope for this bishop, and white also gains some space here. By the way, this is a book move. Anyway, rook to e1, pawn to e5, takes, bishop to f4, and then Petrosian plays pawn to h6, preparing to kick off this bishop in his next move. Tal brings his knight to the center, attacking this active bishop. Petrosian retreats his bishop. Tal plays queen to d8, double attacking this pawn, king to h7. Then Mikhail pushes his pawn to e5. Petrosian takes, Mikhail takes back, and Petrosian makes his first mistake. And the reason for this mistake will become clear in the upcoming moves. Petrosian thinks that if white captures his knight, he will capture the bishop. Takes. Mikhail plays knight to f3, forcing the bishop to move away. Black can't capture this pawn, otherwise it will open the b file for rook. So Petrosian retreats his bishop to a square. Mikhail plays rook to d1. By the way, have you noticed one thing? How Mikhail Tal develops his pieces by constantly attacking his opponent? In this position, all of Mikhail's pieces are developed, while Petrosian's rook, knight and queen are still stuck in their original position. Anyway, Mikhail has pinned the black bishop, which can't move now. So Petrosian plays queen to c8, unpinning the bishop. Mikhail plays bishop to c4, putting pressure on the f7 pawn. Petrosian plays bishop to e1, supporting this pawn. And now, in this position, Mikhail Tal thinks for a while and then he sacrifices his first piece, knight to e5. Petrosian can't move the king to g8 because of knight to e6. Pawn takes, and this is a fork on king and queen. So the only best move was king to h8, but Petrosian captures the knight, thinking it's free. Then Mikhail plays knight to g5, check again, king to g8. Mikhail plays queen to f4, triple attacking on this pawn and also posing a checkmate. Now I need your full attention here. Petrosian plays knight to d7. Point was, this will block the checkmate threat. Mikhail Tal recognized this move and sacrificed his next piece. Mikhail captures that piece which was preventing this checkmate. Petrosian can't capture this piece with queen, otherwise the checkmate is unstoppable. That's why Petrosian captures the rook with the bishop, so that if queen goes for checkmate, the black rook can move to give the king an escape square. And then Mikhail plays bishop to f7. Petrosian thinks for a while and then resigned here. The reason is, if you play king to f7, it will be checkmate, but if you don't move the king and capture the bishop, then queen to f7 check, king h8, queen capture the pawn. Black will have to move the king to avoid this checkmate, so the only good move in this position for white is bishop to f5, blocking the queen for checkmate. But knight to f7 check, king to g8, knight to h6 check again, king to h8, and knight captures the bishop. Here Mikhail Tal has advantage of 3 pawn, and black's rook and queen are still not developed. That's why Petrosian resigned.